Is that a bird? Y'all hear that bird? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla. How are we doing today? So today's video is just gonna be a short, sweet, cute little 2021 stats. So normally I look at the stats and I appreciate the stats and then I keep moving. Today we're gonna share the stats and see what the heck I did with my reading last year. So I have it kind of all written down. Definitely gonna throw up pictures here as we go along so you can have a visual of what I'm saying, but this is just gonna be a cute little thing. So first thing is in 2021, I read 180 books. That's kind of embarrassing. For like a reader, no, that was a superstar move. For a non-reader, that's like embarrassing. That is the most I've ever read in 1 year. I think 2020 I read 106. So I completely like murdered my 2020 reading, and in 2021 I just went off the rails. So that. And then via Goodreads, it says that I read 59,508 pages. Wow. And that is also counting audiobooks. I count my audiobooks as pages, so when I finish an audiobook, I mark it as read. It tracks the pages. So that's with audiobooks and everything. I didn't really break down physical to ebook to audiobook because how I track that, I track it in StoryGraph right now, and I feel like at some point I should make like a spreadsheet because I don't track my audiobooks as audiobooks. I track them as digital. It shows up like if I were to have read it as an ebook. So the proportions on that are a little off, so I didn't include that part. So via Goodreads, my shortest book I read in 2021 was 32 pages, and it was Little People, Big Dreams, RuPaul, which is a kid's book about RuPaul. And then the longest book that I read was 912 pages, which was Queen of Air and Darkness by Sarah J. Maas. My average page length via Goodreads says my average page length was 330 pages. So that was my average book length. My most popular book that I read was The Handmaid's Tale. I read that for April's Shelf This Book Club pick, which was Martine's pick. It was for April, but I don't think I read it until May or June, which is okay. I still read it. And then my least popular book was an ARC that I read that comes out this coming February, and it's called To Be Loved to the Bone, and it is a poetry book. And because it is an ARC and it's a poetry book, it hasn't gained a lot of traction yet, but yeah. These stats are via StoryGraph, and it says that I read 84% fiction and 16% nonfiction. Now that sounds literally about right. I'm getting more into nonfiction, I think. So via this, it says my top 5 genres were YA, romance, contemporary, LGBTQIA+, and fantasy. Now that makes total sense. Those are the genres that I kind of gravitate towards all the time. Fantasy is the one that I'm a little unsure about. And I think because I read a lot of things that have a fantasy like underplot, that's why fantasy got counted so highly. And this one says that my most read authors were Sarah J. Maas with 6 books, Alice Oseman with 4 books, Tiffany D. Jackson with 4 books, and Julie Murphy with 3 books. So we got a YA, that's where the YA comes from. I have no surprise with this. I agree. Those were the authors that I read the most from. I think this coming year I need to branch out a little bit more, but I'm not mad about this list. And the only other thing that I have to talk about is my average rating. So my average rating overall was a 4.05. So based on this, I think I had a pretty good rating year. I definitely had books that stood out more than others that got 5 stars. I think that is definitely something I need to work on, because I've told people I go off the vibes on how I feel after I've read it. And so if I finish the book and I'm like, dang, that ending was good, like, it'll get a 5 stars, which I don't think is necessarily appropriate. Rating is subjective, and how you feel about a book is subjective. Everybody's opinions are different. So I'm not going to feel bad for how I rated things. I just think that I could come up with a more logical way to rate things to give it a better overall scope of the actual enjoyment and not just going off of vibes. So I think potentially in the coming year, I will be using Cawpile. I'm not exactly sure if I want to use it just yet, but I think that I might try it for a while and see if that is what I want to work with. So based on these stats, some things that I wanted to look at and change and kind of progress to this coming year is, my goal is 100 books. We'll see. I know for me, sometimes that is easily achievable, but you never know where the year's going to take you. So you never know if like that's going to be achievable come June or July or whatever. My page goal, I don't really care, but I set one anyway, and I set one for 50,000 pages. Now, I didn't do the math breakdown for that, but because I got to 59, almost 59 and a half thousand, I think that if I could figure out a way to make 50,000 work. Like it can happen. I also would like to read more larger books. I feel like I always end up reading like 1 or 2 that are really big, and then I kind of dial it back and I really like to stay in the 300, 350 page range. But I want to try some big books. I want to see what happens. I want to see if like maybe the bigger books, I want to see if bigger books are my thing or not. I kind of am intimidated by them and I'm scared of them, so I don't go after them, but I want to try it. I want to kind of diversify my genres. I want to diversify my fiction and nonfiction ratio. The whole goal is reading things that you like, right? Like you want to read things that you're going to enjoy. You don't want to just constantly be reading things that you know you're not going to like. So while staying in the realm of these are the things that I like, or these are the things that I know that I like, I want to kind of diversify and like dip my toes into other things to find new things that I like, so I can then branch out my reading. And I've already kind of started that general branch out idea and dip my toes into stuff with my music taste, definitely in the last like 2 or 3 weeks. My Spotify looks like a whole new person started listening, and I'm kind of obsessed with that because I've found new things that I like. I found new things that bring me joy or make my experiences listening better. So with that, if I can do it with my music, I definitely can do it with my books. So those are my 2021 reading stats, and then a little like peek into my 2022 reading goals. These are just short, sweet. I just wanted to get this out there for you guys. I know a lot of people are stats people, and so I felt like this was something that they can enjoy. And if you're not a stats person, here are my stats, so you can just look at them and then compare them to you if you want to. I don't know, do what you want to do, but that is literally all I have for right now. So I am gonna go. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, do what you need to do for me, for you. What would make you happy? I don't know, just do it. So again, that's it. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.